Hey guys, Lisa Callaghy here to share with you a video on the progress monitoring report in Let's Go Learn. All right, let's get started. Here I am on a teacher's homepage in Let's Go Learn. And using the top navigation menu options here, I'm going to choose scores and reports. And I'm going to choose right now math, but I'm going to show you how to use this progress monitoring for ELA as well. Okay, clicking on math, it's going to bring up my class. And just so that you're aware, you're able to change between your classes. At the top here under the Let's Go Learn logo, you could click on the current class, which will bring up a window with a drop-down menu where you can toggle between your two classes and click on Set Class. And now you'll see your scores and reports for your other class if you are departmentalized. All right, so let me just switch back to the other class quickly because I did practice in that class. So I want to make sure that I give you everything that you need. All right, so scrolling down here, you'll notice your class list and column headings here. And the one that we're going to be looking at for this video is the progress monitoring choice, which is individualized for students. So what is progress monitoring? It's a way for you to see for each individual student over the life of that student's assessments in Let's Go Learn, and we're able to compare their growth or their progress over time. So I'm going to show you how to get into that and just realize that this is specific to students. It's not by class or by grade level or school or district. It's specifically student level. All right, so here I am. I'm going to click on this first student progress monitoring little chart. That's going to open up another page for me here. Okay, and that's going to bring me into progress monitoring for this student. Now, before we go on, I just want you to know that I'm going to go over what's on this page. You have a top part that's the filter. That's the most important part because whatever you filter up here is what you're going to see down here in the scores part. All right. You also have the ability to download and print any of these reports. So that's available. And then on the bottom, there's a little help menu that we'll refer to in a second. And again, right from this page, you're able to change your class. So you don't have to go back into the scores and reports page. You can toggle between your classes if you're departmentalized right from the progress monitoring page. All right, so let's start here with the filter. The first choice we have is series, and that really means assessment. So you're able to choose the assessment that you'd like to see the student's progress in. So I'm choosing Adam right now, and then we'll jump over to Dora. But these are the other assessments as well, depending on what your student or grade level you teach. Okay. Next is strands. And this is pretty cool because what it does is it actually helps you to be able to see into specific pieces of the assessment or topics or standards. Okay. So for the atoms, students are tested in these strands. Okay. So if I wanted to see a student's progress in an individual strand, I just select that strand right here. Next, you have the date range. And this is pretty cool too, because now you're able to compare students' progress between the times that they've actually taken this assessment for the life of that student within Union City. So for this student, I can choose either all, 5, 2, or 1 year. I'm going to choose all just so that you can see the student has been in Union City for a number of years. So I'm going to choose all, but again, you get to choose your date range, what is beneficial for your reporting. And then over here, you have a show and hide, which will actually help you to hide some pieces that you might not want to see. So some data that will be reporting or that you'll be seeing that you might not want to see. So it kind of gives you even more specific information. So you get to hide either a snapshots only or assessment only, or actually, I should say, you get to see snapshots only or assessments only. So you might want to know what this means. And that's where that key comes into play down here at the bottom of your screen. So, scores, which are assessments, are going to show only completed comprehensive diagnostic assessments for progress monitoring. Okay. In progress tests will not display. So you have to wait until tests are finished before you'll see that here in the progress monitoring data. And then the active pulse snapshots are weekly snapshots of the student's highest mastered scores. Okay. And you can learn more about that here by clicking on that link. But what's important is you want to decide when you're filtering what you would like to see. Do you want to see weekly snapshots here in your data pull, or do you want to see assessments only, or both? All right. So I'm going to choose assessments only and then come down and see this is my result. So let's take a look. We're going to come over here to the left-hand side and see the first time that this student has taken the ADAM assessment was in September of 2018, and then subsequent tests as time went on. Okay. And then you're able to see their grade, okay, where they were. Second grade, second month, second grade, 6th month. Okay, so it's kind of delineating the time frame. And then you see their scores, right? And remember, this is only for strand number and operations. So you can look at this data this way, or what LGL does is it gives you the opportunity to look at it in graph form. So if I click on the box next to the word graph in the column, and select all of my assessments. Now, I don't have to do that. If I'd like, I can uncheck that. And if I want to see the last two, I can check those last two assessments here. So I'm able to select all of my assessments by clicking on the check box next to the word graph, or individually select assessments that I'd like to see on a graph. I'm going to choose them all just so that you can see what it looks like. And then at the bottom left, click on chart. That's going to do now is chart that data for you. Okay. So let's look at this a little bit more closely. So on the bottom, you see that the x-axis here has the titles. So you have number, place value, and that coincides with the columns down here on your numerical data. And then you have your bars, and your bars actually coincide with the dates, the test dates. So if I hover my mouse over the first test date, which was 9/20/2018, you'll see the blue bars that will highlight for all of the strands you could see. And then I could hover to the next one, to the next assessment date, which was 2/27/19. And then you could see the progress of this student on this strand over time. Okay, hovering your mouse and it's highlighting. All right, so that's what progress monitoring does here for each individual student. So you again get to choose your filter. So if I wanted instead to choose the last 2 years, I could do that by choosing the date range. Or if I wanted to, I could have just selected the last two date assessments from my data, numerical data down here at the bottom, and clicked on chart. Okay, so it's going to give me the last 2 years of information for that student. All right, so now let me come back up here to filter, and I'm going to choose Dora. Okay, and notice that I still have the same filtering options, but if you see under strands, all I have is summary. There are no strands specifically for the Dora ELA. So it's just going to give your summary, and it's going to summarize by these areas. Okay, word recognition, high frequency, phonemic awareness, all of that, the vocabulary comprehension, spelling, all the stuff that you're used to seeing. But again, now you'll be able to see it in a graph form, selected over a certain amount of time that you get to choose. And again, whether it's a weekly snapshot or assessments, you're able to see this student actually started taking the Dora test in 2017 when he was in first grade. I selected all of those, and now you're able to see for this student over time how he has progressed. Okay? So that is progress monitoring for your individual students in Let's Go Learn. Okay, guys, I hope this helped. Have a great day.